The clone one.
Clone.
The second one in the prequels, that one was way worse because of the whole CGI battle scene.
No.
At least it had a battle scene.
I am your father.
Welcome to Coog Cinema Reviews. My name is Samantha Leone.
I'm Cole, Triplett.
And today we are doing a countdown of the worst to best Star Wars films in the entire franchise.
We're gonna rank them. We're gonna rip them apart a little bit.
Yep. This is in honor of the Last Jedi teaser that came out last week.
Star Wars Celebration just ended. It's
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that at the end here, but
keep my emotions in check here.
As you can tell, we're pretty big Star Wars fans. I mean, I've had this spoon since I was like a kid.
I built this last year.
Yeah, so we're really excited about this. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the worst one, number 8, which is The Phantom Menace, which came out in 1999.
Basically, let me just take the wheel here. I just gotta say, this movie's straight up trash. Some of you may be thinking the clone one.
Clone.
The second one in the prequels, that one was way worse because of the whole CGI battle scene.
No.
At least it had a battle scene, you know? We had that really cool Duel of Fates at the end. Mm-hmm. I will say that.
Yeah.
Only redeemable part of this movie.
But it felt so like educational. It didn't have like the magic or like the funness of Star Wars. Like it felt like they were just really like shallow with it. Like I felt like they could have really expanded way more in the Star Wars universe, and it just didn't. Like it just was very closeted, and it felt, it was not good at all. And I think a huge part of it was they had huge expectations, because this is the first prequel from the original trilogy. Like people had really high expectations for this, and they wanted it to go well. And
I mean, we could spend 45 minutes talking about the Gungan that shall not be named.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, they had the whole thing about the midi-chloridians, about like, if it's in your blood, that's what you have,
We didn't need to know.
Yeah, like
Just keep it in your brain,
blood,
Lucas.
Like, that's when you can like control the Force or whatever. But it just felt like why are you giving a scientific reason for this? Like, just Star Wars is magical. Like, it's fun. Like, you don't need to explain why, like, you have the Force, why it exists. It's the Force. Number 7 is Attack of the Clones, which is the second prequel, and came out in 2002, directed again by George Lucas. It was better than The Phantom Menace, but it just still was not good. It felt very lazy. I mean, it did have some good visual effects, but just too much CGI. Like that was a problem, a really big problem with the prequels. There's a lot of CGI, and it just didn't feel as believable and as authentic as like the original trilogy, or even Rogue One or The Force Awakens. Like it just felt like a setback, and I just felt it didn't do the franchise any good. Especially with like Jar Jar Binks.
Oh.
Like I don't understand like why he was introduced in the prequels. Like it just like especially with like The Phantom Menace. Like I know we just finished talking about that, but like he had this weird comedic relief role, which was just not good and was really annoying like half the time.
Yeah.
And it was like, like he had more screen time than like
that whole planet should have just been blown up.
Yeah. Like it was just, I didn't understand what they were trying to do with him, and he just ended up being annoying. So like, I'm glad they kind of pulled away a little bit in this film, but he was still really unnecessary.
I personally don't know why we're talking about this movie so much.
So,
let's move on.
Yes. So
to the kind of okay prequel.
Yes. So number 6 is the third prequel, and the last prequel, thank God, and is Revenge of the Sith, which came out in 2005, and once again directed by George Lucas.
The gang is back.
Yep, and same actors, from the first two, and it is the best prequel by far, but still not very good.
Yeah, the whole Mustafar scene, of course, was awesome. Like that's all we needed to see, just a 40-minute short of that battle.
The beginning of it was a lot better than the first two. I thought that Natalie Portman did a lot better, especially with Hayden, but still Hayden just wasn't good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like she really did pretty well, like especially towards the end. Like the last 45 minutes of this movie is so good. Not so good, but it's so good compared to like the prequels. Like if you're seeing the first two and you're like, oh my god, it's terrible, then you're seeing like the third one and you finally see like good 45 minutes, you're like, oh my gosh, like where has this been?
I I feel like my overall problem with this is I don't really find, like the prequels themselves, I don't really find the motivation within Anakin that much. Other than just like, his mom died and the Emperor just talked to him for a hot 10 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Told him to cut off the arms of Dooku. Like, that's all we get. And whenever he saved his mom, he murdered all of those Tusken Raiders. But he personally, like, Obi-Wan obviously wasn't looking out for him if he knew about some of this stuff.
Number 5, which is the 7th one, and it is The Force Awakens.
Maybe a little bit of a shocker. Lots of people are flip-flopping that with Rogue One, putting Rogue One in that hot number 5 spot and moving Force Awakens up. But I personally wasn't super impressed with Force Awakens.
I thought it was very progressive. I was very happy with the diversity of The Force Awakens and of Rogue One compared to, like, you know, the prequels and the trilogy.
And I appreciate the diversity for sure. Like, it's something that needs to be there, but overall, in a Star Wars movie, I'm looking for a story. That's fine. I'm looking for a good story, and I was bored a lot of the time. Like, cool, Han died. That's it. Go home, and not getting any Luke. I feel like this could have been less traveling and less like reuniting. I knew they announced there was going to be a trilogy before this started, but it feels like the first part of a trilogy, and like you watch Fellowship of the Ring, it's its own movie, like even though you know it's going to be a trilogy, and I felt like this left a lot of open answers.
I think he is right where like he was kind of like disappointed, and like I thought it was kind of overhyped at times, but I thought it was still pretty good. Number 4 is Rogue One. Woo! So Rogue One, I did have some problems with it. I did think that Felicity Jones at times is a bit stoic. Like her and all the other characters weren't as emotional as compared to like Luke and Leia and Han and A New Hope. But I mean, also very different circumstances. I mean, Rogue One is a lot darker than, you know, compared to A New Hope. And I really liked the darkness. I loved it. I loved it, you know.
I loved how many cool characters they were and how they were able to just like handle all of them without it being confusing.
I loved with like Rogue One, it was just a standalone film.
Yeah.
There's obviously can't be a sequel because after Rogue One it goes immediately into A New Hope, but I liked that. I felt that it really got it really made the director and like at least the production part of it, you know, more I just felt that they could just do more. Like they can do what they actually wanted compared to appealing to like a fan base and like, you know, like holding up the franchise, you know.
And like even if you thought if it was just like, oh cool, like this is how they got the plans, good job, like the last 2 minutes of the film where Vader just slashes away.
Yeah, it was
like that's the price of admission for me. Like,
yeah, it was really good. Like I thought the fighting in this was like way better than like all like the prequels. Number 3, which is the last of the original trilogy, and it is Return of the Jedi. I thought it was like the worst out of the original trilogy, but still good.
Still, it's the original.
Yeah,
like,
it's, you know, the originals.
You can see like Lucas's vision starting to slip a bit.
Yeah.
Like you see the Ewoks and like, mainly just the dancing scenes and I don't know.
I thought the Ewoks were a really nice addition. It felt kind of like at times that they were like hinting that like
Beta Jar Jar or something.
Yeah, you know, but I thought that they did pretty good with the plot. They wrapped it up well, and it wasn't as dark as like you know like The Empire Strikes Back, but it was good. It wasn't as good as A New Hope, but it was good. I was content with it at least, but I wasn't as impressed as the other two.
It like felt like a wrap up movie a little bit. Yeah,
definitely.
Like it was a great movie. I loved it, but you did kind of see like it was there to serve as the end, which is good and bad, but
cliche. Like I
like feeling those standalone movies, even if they're a part of the trilogy.
Number 2, the 4th one, the original, that one that we all know, A New Hope, directed by George Lucas, and stars everyone that you know from original trilogy. It's beautiful. I think that the cinematography in this one is just fantastic. I think this is the film that is nominated for the most Academy Awards, and you can definitely see why.
It's so good.
It's so good. I mean, just John Williams just did a fantastic job with the score. Like I know that really helped like make it like help move me and make it believable. Like it's so good. It's brilliantly paced. Like it's good acting, and it's not as dark, you know, as The Empire Strikes Back. So it's not like as daring, but it's more happy, feel good, I guess. but still pretty good.
And this, and like also Return of the Jedi, of course, like filled to a T what I've been driving home this whole video, that I like it to feel like its own story, and this is like an ABC story. Like it's so good. I don't know.
The Empire Strikes Back is our number 1, and it came out in 1980, and it is so good. I think it's so dark, and it's just, I think you really see Luke grow up. Like, you really see him mature and become like the man that he's going to be. I know that with trilogies and stuff like that, like usually sometimes the middle one kind of feels like a filler, and it kind of felt like that sometimes, but it's so much more different. Going from A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back. Like, I mean, like Luke is, discovering himself and becoming more mature. Then, Leia starts becoming, more emotionally vulnerable.
You get the Tauntauns, people. The Tauntauns.
And Han,
I watch it.
And Han, you start to see him like change from, the beginning, from the first, movie to the end of the trilogy. Like
he comes around and it's less
of course he's like Han has
has
character development, and I think that their character arcs in this really like just made this the film that it did. I think it was just very believable. Cinematography's great, score, I mean, John Williams always does a great job. Can't argue with that.
Right down to the famous plot twist.
Yeah, I mean, it's not corny. Like some parts of.
With time, like people look back at it as like sort of corny, but that's just because like everyone knows already.
Yeah,
thing, but like.
Yeah, so I thought it was really highly entertaining, and just believable, good dialogue, and like I really like the cliffhangers and like the plot in this one specifically, because I think it just does the entire franchise really good. So that was our ratings of the 8 Star Wars films that they have out, and now we're going to talk briefly about The Last Jedi teaser that just came out last week. And The Last Jedi is the sequel to A Force Awakens, and it's directed by Rian Johnson. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to do with it and what he's going to change from J.J. Abrams. I thought the teaser did a good job as a teaser. Yeah. As a trailer, I mean,
gave away basically nothing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but I mean, it's Star Wars.
Johnson recently in an interview like clarified the whole "who is the Last Jedi" business. He said it was Luke. Like he thought everyone already knew that. He didn't know that there was talk about it. So.
There's like talk that, or I know that The Last Jedi in Germany they have a Jedi translated as a plural version.
Yeah.
So now, like I know that Johnson said that it was talking about Luke, but then there's some people like, well, it's plural.
Yeah.
Like they obviously are talking about Rey and Luke and all that stuff. And
if he is in fact telling the truth, then I assume like we'll see like more of a gray area with Rey, like less like following all of the rules of the Jedi and stuff. And
so I feel that the teaser was really good. I was excited to see like the characters come back and all that stuff. I was really excited, and I know that they're going to release like another teaser or at least another trailer or something. So I know that a lot of people were really upset that like you got nothing from this, because you kind of don't. Like you kind of really don't get anything. It's really short.
Star Wars.
But like, it's Star Wars.
Be happy, please.
Yeah. It wasn't guaranteed that we were going to get a sequel, but we got one. So we got a sequel to the sequel. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah. Sorry this is really long. We get really into this, and we could have gone a lot more into detail, but to spare you the time and trouble.
Could we have?
I could have. I could have talked about what the movie was about and, like, discourse behind it, my theories, but I'm not going to. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe to us so you can get more, reviews, not just for Star Wars, but if you want more Star Wars reviews, Cole and I will review all of them individually if you want us to. Whatever you want. I'm Samantha DeLeon.
I'm Cole Triplett.
And that was our review of all the Star Wars films. Bye, guys.